In this video, I'm going to show you how to do a brake bleed procedure on this BMW 328i. Let's get into it. I'm going to take this cover off, just grab the two tabs underneath, pull those out, and it slides right up. You can see where the reservoir for the master cylinder is, right here. You want to use the correct brake fluid. We're just going to wipe this off with a rag, make sure there's no dirt or debris in there. And this happens to take .4 brake fluid. You can look at the top of the reservoir, it should say what type of fluid. Unscrew the cap, and then you can top off the brake fluid. All right. Put the cap back on, tighten it down. We're going to remove the wheel, use a 17mm socket, take the lug studs out. When I get to the last one, I'm just going to hold the wheel from falling. Take that off. Now we're starting out on the right rear or the passenger rear caliper. The bleed screw is right here. Just pop this cap off. We're going to use a 9mm wrench over the bleeder. Then I'm going to put a brake hose with a bottle just to collect the fluid. When you want to have an assistant in the car pumping the brake pedal, go ahead and pump the brakes 3 times, slow. And then hold it. While they're holding it down, I'm just going to open the bleeder. You'll see the fluid come out. You see a little bit of bubbles. As this is open, the pedal's going to go to the floor. Then I'll close it up again. And then go ahead and pump it slow 3 times. And then hold it. And while it's holding, I'm going to open it again. Less bubbles, close it up. The fluid doesn't look too bad here. If it was really dark, we're going to do this more times. Go ahead and pump it. This is closed. And hold it. Open it up again. Now it looks really good. So I don't see any bubbles. Close it up. And if you had worked on the hydraulic system further up, then you may need to bleed it longer to get more bubbles out. You can go ahead and pump it again and hold it. Again, that looks good. We'll close that up. Go ahead and let up. Take the hose off. Make sure that bleeder is snug. This wire goes around the cap on this one. And you can take some soapy water or brake parts cleaner, clean this up. And then at this point, you want to double check the reservoir, make sure the reservoir is full, and we'll move on to the next wheel. Now we're moving on to the left rear caliper or the driver's side rear caliper. We'll do the same thing. Take the cap off, put the 9mm wrench on, and put the hose on. And have the assistant pump the pedal. Go ahead, pump. Just about 3 times, slow. Holding. Open the bleeder, watch the fluid, no bubbles. I'll close it up, go ahead, pump. and hold it. No bubbles. Close it up. Go ahead, pump. And hold it. And no more bubbles. That looks good, and the fluid looks nice and clear. So we'll close that up. Go ahead, let up. Take the hose off. Take the wrench off, put the cap on, clean that up with some brake parts cleaner, and move on to the next wheel. That's good. Now we're going to be on the right front wheel or the right passenger side front caliper. We're going to use a 11mm wrench. Pop the cap off the bleeder. Put the hose on. All right, go ahead, have your assistant pump 3 times, and then hold it. And I'll crack this open. A little bit of bubbles, and close it up. Go ahead, pump, and hold it. Looks like no more bubbles. That looks good. Close the bleeder. You can let off. Take the hose off. Take the wrench off. I'm just going to wipe this with a rag. I didn't make too much of a mess here. If you did, you can use some brake parts cleaner. Put the cap on. Then double check the reservoir, make sure there's plenty of fluid in there. Move on to the next wheel. Now we're on the final caliper, which is the driver's side front or the left front. Take the bleeder cap off. And there is the brake warning indicator wire. Take the 11mm wrench. Put that on. Put the hose on. Have our assistant pump. Go ahead, pump the pedal 3 times, slow, and hold it. Crack this open. There we go. Close it up. Go ahead, pump 3 times slow, and hold it. A little bit of air. Go ahead, pump, and hold it. That looks good. Close it up. You can let off. Go ahead, pump the brake pedal. See how it feels. Does it feel good? All right, pedal feels good. We can stop there. Snug that up. Put that warning indicator wire, brake warning indicator, and then put the cap on, clean that up with some brake parts cleaner if you need to. And if the pedal still feels squishy, then you can do the procedure again. And if you need to, you can do an automated bleed procedure with a scan tool. Sometimes if the fluid has air in it and it gets trapped somewhere, you may need to do that with a scan tool. And now double check the fluid level. Take the cap off, top it off. Put the cap on. The level should be up to where the max line is, right there. I'll put the cover on. Lock that down. Take it for a road test, double check for leaks, and you'll be good to go. Now I'll put the wheel back on, line that up. Get the lug stud started. Snug those up. Now I'm going to torque the lug bolts to 90 foot-pounds in a cross pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. Just go around again, double check.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.